Welcome back. Otakanini Topu's goal is, like many farming operations, to become more profitable, but not at the expense of either land or water quality. Unlike many operations, however, there's the added complication of protecting important ancestral sites as well. The Helensville-based Maori incorporation is 62 years old and was the Northern Regional finalist in the 2011 Ahuwhenua Trophy competition. Manager Ray Monk shows us around.
Otakanini is 2,750 hectares, 1,550 effective, 600 in forestry on the coast side, and 600 of sort of unproductive mudflats, wetlands and stuff like that. Currently we're wintering 14,500 stock units, and it's a sort of 55-45 ratio of cattle to sheep. The biggest issues I find here is the climate. At certain times of the year, it's very good growing weather during the winter, but from that sort of December, January, February period, it dries right out. You can pretty much guarantee its growth just drops right down. Water becomes an issue at those times of the year as well. Because the winters are so good up here, you know, it grows grass during the winter, so we got a bit of an opportunity to hit those earlier markets. We haven't got the mix right yet, but I think once we do, we'd be in a stronger position to sort of, you know, get sort of better prices for our animals. The infrastructure is the biggest challenge at the moment. We've spent a couple of years getting a lot of information, monitoring a lot of the stock to sort of find a system that's going to suit the climate that we've got here. And I think we're on the right track, but our infrastructure's not there yet. So now we've got to build the infrastructure to suit the system that we want to be good at. The trustees for Otakanini, you know, they're keen to get this thing moving forward, so they are very keen to get some capital development outside of what we've already sort of made over the last couple of years. The staff for this block are brilliant. I wouldn't be able to do what I want to do with this block without them. I mean, they're long-serving. I've got Witai and Connie. She was drafting all the fat lambs up. That's their brother and sister. Connie's been here 30 years. Witai's been here probably 12, I think. And we've got a young apprentice, Claude, who's a nephew of Connie and Witai's. He's a modern-day apprentice, so he's only been with us for a couple of years. But the strength of this farm is the staff, I believe. When I first started here at Otakanini, the farming regime was to store a lot of the stock. I've come from a finishing background, so what I did is I've sort of changed the system around where we're actually finishing all our stock that we take through. Our hardest period is the December, January, February, which is really when you need to keep your lambs going. So we've got 40 hectares of pasture that we put in. We try and have a good draft straight off the ewe as milk lambs. We try and have an average of 18 kilo lambs. Last year it was easy. This year's different. So we've drafted right down. We've got a minimum of 16 because of the drought. And, you know, it's pointless having lambs on if you can't feed them. We've got two lines of ewes here. The original line of ewes that I didn't think were right for the property. So I've gone out and gradually over the last few years changed them and brought in a eczema tolerant ewe. And I've bred those across Auckland Romney Development Group rams, which are eczema tolerant because we're eczema prone in this area. I run the two mobs separate. So we've got a homebred, which are the original ewes, and the genetic mob. And I keep the replacement, the ram lambs from the homebred mob, blackface, because they go to terminal ewes, terminal rams, and put them across our maternal hoggets. This is our bull finishing block. It's 60 hectares that's away from the main farm, and it's all sort of developed into electrics and water, so it's ideal. The bulls come over as yearlings. They'll stay right through here till they're finished. Well, the idea is to finish everything before they're 2-year-old, sort of that 530 live weight, so kill out above sort of 280, average around 300. And they're an Angus herd, so we've got 600 Angus cows that we'll calve down. The maternal bulls are Angus that I get from down Kawhia, and the terminal mob, which are the older cows, Charolais, that I source further north. To be honest, there's a lot more infrastructure that has to go in this unit. Paddocks are too big, more troughs, to really get it to where we want it to be. It's Kaikuya. It's not supposed to be. It was regrassed when I started sort of 3 years ago, but I don't think the regrassing program was quite right. So the Kaikuya that's dominant is just regrown. It was sown in grass, in a perennial grass, but the Kaikuya's just come back through again. So it's just another issue that we sort of got to work a plan around, trying to sort out what's going to work and what's not. We're on the ridgeline of the farm, and this is where a lot of the cultural heritage sites are. This one in particular is one that's been fenced off and planted to sort of stop the sand moving, really. The westerly winds that come through here are quite fierce, and once they've opened up, they just keep blowing the sand all over the place. So you've got both access to Muriwai Beach and to the Kaipara Harbour. This is all Ngāti Whātua through here. A lot of battles taking place through here. A lot of past sites right through this sort of peninsula. One of the board members is very passionate about the historical sites and cultural sites, and he's just finished, in conjunction with the Auckland Council, doing a lot of recording of the sites as part of a farm plan package that we've got together. So he spent a lot of time on the farm actually noting down where all these sites are. We've got past sites, we've got uru past sites, midden pits, kumara pits, all that sort of stuff. It works in well for me because I use it as an overlay for planning fence lines, water lines, so I don't go through any of those sort of sites. It's a balancing act because I love the cultural side of it, but I'm tasked with making money off the farm. So we have some healthy debates, and we come to a compromise, which is always good. As part of our farm plan, we had an environmental section put in there which worked in well with the integrated Kaipara Harbour management group, which we're part of. We sat down and discussed a few things, and one of the issues was water quality and what we could do to help out as a farmer. We were lucky that we had councils come on board, Auckland Council, Rodney District Council at the time. They had funds available for us to fence these wetlands off and allow grants to put water systems in so that our stock would not have to, drink all this stuff down here and muck it up, really. We still have autonomy over what we do here, but it works in well with the council. They have regulations that we adhere to, so it is a win-win for both parties.